So, you're looking for a dog trainer here in Fernandina Beach, and you want to make sure you get it right. Well, you're in the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find a great fit for you and your best friend.
You know the dream, right? Just having a nice, calm walk with your dog. Maybe you're heading down Center Street or enjoying a quiet morning over at Fort Clinch. Having a well-behaved dog just makes living in this beautiful place that much better. That's the whole point, and good training is exactly how we get there.
So, why does a local trainer matter so much? Because they get it. They understand our island life, from the busy crowds during Shrimp Fest to teaching your dog to leave the dunes alone. It's really all about helping your dog become a great citizen of Fernandina Beach.
That leads to a pretty big question. There are so many opinions on dog training out there. How do you pick a method that actually works and, one that helps you build a great bond with your dog?
Well, the answer really is positive reinforcement. It's pretty simple. Instead of correcting your dog for what you don't want, you reward the behavior you do want to see. This approach creates a dog that's confident, happy, and genuinely wants to learn, the kind of dog you can take to a cafe or walk past other people without any stress.
Okay, so we're on board with positive reinforcement. Now let's talk about the different ways training can happen so you can find what works for your dog's personality and your schedule.
You've basically got two main paths. Group classes are awesome for getting your dog comfortable around other dogs and people, but private lessons, that's where you get that focused one-on-one help for specific things, like if your dog barks at the mailman or jumps on every guest who walks through the door.
And within those private or group settings, you'll find different kinds of programs. Puppy training gets you started on the right foot with things like house training. Basic obedience is for those must-have commands like sit, stay, and walking nicely on a leash. Then there's behavior modification, which is for tougher issues like anxiety or reactivity, and that usually needs a more specialized plan.
Here's something you should know. The dog training world isn't really regulated. That means it's on you, the owner, to do a little homework and check a trainer's background. Let's look at what that means. Now, certifications aren't required by law, but they show that a trainer is serious about their profession. A CPDTKA means they've passed a big test on humane training. A KPA CTP tells you they graduated from the highly respected Karen Pryor Academy. And if you're dealing with bigger issues like fear or aggression, credentials like CBCKA or IAABC-CDBC mean that trainer has some serious specialized expertise.
When you first talk to a trainer, you should think of it like an interview. Make sure their philosophy is all about positive reinforcement. Ask them how they'll create a plan just for your dog and how you'll both track progress. And, of course, make sure you're clear on all the costs and scheduling stuff right from the start.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We'll talk about budgeting for training and going over some of the local rules that every dog owner in Fernandina Beach needs to know.
So, what's this going to cost? Well, a typical 6-week group class around here will probably run you somewhere between $175 and $300. A single private lesson is usually in the $90 to $150 range. Of course, more intensive programs cost more, but this should give you a pretty good idea for budgeting.
Here is a number every single dog owner in Fernandina Beach needs to have memorized: 6 feet. That is the maximum leash length you're allowed to have in any public area. That means parks, beaches, everywhere. They are serious about this, so a standard 6-foot leash is a piece of gear you just have to have.
And aside from the leash law, don't forget your dog needs a current rabies vaccine. That's state law. You'll need proof of that for their required Nassau County license. Also, just try to be a good neighbor about nuisance barking. Consistent training really helps with that.
So once you and your dog start learning new skills, you're going to need places to practice them in the real world. And luckily for us, this island has some really fantastic options.
The dog park is the only place you can legally be off-leash, so it's perfect for practicing recall in a safe, fenced-in area. For on-leash practice, you can't beat the trails at Fort Clinch or Egan's Creek Greenway. They're great for working on focus with all the wildlife around. And the beach at Amelia Island State Park is a fantastic spot to practice loose-leash walking with the distraction of waves and seagulls.
And that's really what this all comes down to, isn't it? When you take the time to find the right person to help you, you're making an investment in a much happier, much less stressful life with your dog.
So let's think back to that picture we started with. A dog who can handle the farmer's market, who can just chill out under the table at a pet-friendly spot, and who can safely enjoy a walk on the beach with you. That life is completely possible. I wish you the best of luck in finding that perfect training partner to help you and your dog enjoy everything this amazing island has to offer.